Hi, it's the Constant Angler. I'm going to do a review of the Misurelure. Sounds a bit French, doesn't it? Fox, I'm going to call it. So I'm going to call it the Fox from now on because that's a bit of a mouthful. But as you can see, it's quite a stylish design on the box. Quite like the purple accents on it if you're into your boxes. I have the left-hand version. What's it say here? Just JHUS. What's that stand for? I don't know, maybe that's what they're trying to call it. There's a lot of specs on the side, which I'll just freeze frame for you to have a look at rather than go through them all here. Same again there, same specs there pretty much, I think. Yeah, corrosion resistant stainless steel ball bearings, conical line guide, the usual sort of things. Now, why did I get this? Well, I love the old Caesar Commando a lot, and this appears to be a black colour version of it. So I wondered if I'd like the understated looks. I've got this delivered to the UK, taxes and everything for £22, so it's a very good buy. It doesn't have two spools like the Commando, which is a similar price, but I'm hoping they're interchangeable anyway, so I could switch a deep spool into the, and vice versa and all of that. Let's open it up and have a look. So I haven't been fishing with this one yet. That'll be the next challenge. Here's the reel for you. You get your usual schematics in there. Nothing else to really report. Let's have a little look around it. Very nice. I'm loving these subdued purple accents. If I've got the old Archer here, you see they're a bit more vivid on that. Very, very similar reel, basically from the same platform. Not much difference there at all from what I can see. What I'm really hoping is that the spool to frame tolerance is as good as the Commando, because the Archer wasn't quite so good. And from what I can see initially, it appears to be extremely good. Yes, I'd say it's as good. So it's pretty much a damn copy of the Commando, isn't it? Got the brakes on full there. So I'll have a little look around it first. So there's your Fox symbol. Very nice. Art of fishing. Everything appears good. Doesn't feel too heavy. It is in fact lighter than the GKA 200, or the Archer as I call it. Yeah, it feels a bit lighter. This one has aluminium main gear in it as far as I'm aware. I'll have to double check all these things. Look at the spool spin there, that is smooth. I mean, it's on 0, but it's quiet. Instantly it feels quite a smooth reel. A little dryness in the bearings. I'll have to just put a little bit of oil in them, but it spins well. Let's compare it to the Commando. Yeah, very similar. So if we've got some differences other than colour, let's have a little look. Can see a lot. The handle is the obvious one. I love, you'll know already if you follow my channel, I love the Commando, and I love the carbon handle you get with it, which I haven't got with this. So this is a metal handle, very similar to the Solar King GKA 200. So yeah, I would love to have had that handle with this. It would have been really swish. But what we do have is EVA foam knobs. So they're very good. You know, they're quite high density. They don't feel cheap. They're going to last. Let's have a look at clickers and things. So if we... Yeah, loud but subdued. Kind of like that. End tension knobs. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. Star drag clicker. Yeah, very audible, very nice. So it's got all those clickers and things that you do want. Yeah, quite stylish. I'll put specs and things like that up for you. Rather than talking through all the line capacities and everything like that. As I say, this one does only come with a shallow spool. If this had a deep spool as well, I'll be really impressed. You're looking, you do pay about, by the time you get it delivered to the UK, about £30 for this one, whereas it's 22. So it's an £8 difference for having a deep spool as well. But so I've been told, the GKA deep spool will fit this. I'm not sure. I think I got one here, so let's have a look. If I pop that out, we can say whether that is true or not. It's more the frame tolerance I'll be looking at. It fits. The tolerance isn't bad at all, actually. So, you know, if you already got one of those or you got a Commando, it looks like the spools are interchange. So that's a handy thing. You might not want that. I mean, in essence, this is a BFS reel. The Commando would be, with its shallow spool, would be a BFS reel, 100 size BFS reel, so slightly larger than your normal standard 50 sizes. But with the deep spool, which I got in there at the moment, it's just a standard bait caster. A little point of interest here, my Commando shallow spool does actually fit this reel. Basically, your what the shallow spool is enabling you to do, because it's that much lighter, is cast similar lighter lures. You're not going to get down below 1 gram and things like that to your 50 size traditional BFS reels, but have a larger line capacity and use thicker lines. That's not necessarily true, but yeah, to fish for bigger fish, because you've got more drag with these larger reels. There's a difference, actually. They're stating 8 kilos of drag, and the Commando itself, I'm sure that isn't, I'm positive that's 9 kilos, so a little less drag, but you're looking at 16 pounds of drag, something like that, maybe a little bit more. So there's no worries there. Let's tighten the drag up, make sure. Yeah, it's good. There's the anti-reverse bearing is really good. There's no play there at all. There's you know what, it's solidly built. There's very little side to side play here. Not a lot at all, if anything, in the reel knobs. It's very good. It's very smooth. I mean, how you can get something like this for £22 delivered to the UK, I do not know. And the more I'm winding it, the smoother and quieter it's getting. That's just the oil and the grease working its way around it. Yeah, loving that. We'll open it up, we'll have a look at the brakes. So let's have a look at the spool. You've got your short axis spool. So spool spindles used to be longer and go right in there. But these are now, by chopping it off effectively and putting a support mechanism in here, which is actually made of plastic. So I'm not 100% sure that's a good thing or not yet, but they seem to be working. You make the spool lighter, which makes it easier to generate the force you need to get it moving in the first place with the light lures that we use. So with these larger reels, it's probably quite important if you want to use them for, say, 2.5 gram lures. You'll see with the GKA 200 in the recent video I've done, I managed to get it down to about 1.5 grams, casting quite respectively. It's not an outer bearing, it's not a Dark Wolf Ultra, but the more you used it, the better you got with it, and you could actually achieve some reasonable distances with it. So I was using very fine line. Yeah, everything feels good out of the box. You can see the conical line guide there. I'll put some pictures up with all of this when I talk to you about it. It's 6+1 bearings. I presume there's NMB bearings in there, probably 3, the same as the Commando and the GKA 200. But, oh, I like the look of it. I do like the subdued purple, actually. If we're looking at retrieve rates, we've got a 7 to 3 to 1. The Commando is a 7 to 1 to 1, so it's slightly faster, but not as fast as the version of the GKA 100 I have, or the Archer, shall we call it, because I think that was 8 to 1 to 1. I didn't see any other retrieve ratios, so I think it's pretty much a standard retrieve ratio. Talking about retrieve ratios, the lower your gear ratio, the more torque you generate. But there's been a discussion in my BFS group, the BFS Finesse Fishing Facebook group that I run today and yesterday, about you know, you can generate more torque by having a slower retrieve, But if you're using very thin lines, you might not want to do that, and it could possibly snap them. We don't know. This is discussions we have. But if the slower it is, the slower you can wind your lures. But to be honest, with the size of the reels we're talking about, you're not talking big gains or minuses really. It's the smoothness you want of the lure and the rate of retrieve you do it. And when you're doing this, you want to be able to, you don't want a graty geary reel because you won't feel the lure. You'll feel the reel more than you will the lure. So if you're able to slowly wind smoothly, so the smoother a reel is, the better. You can change your handle sizes. You can make it smaller or larger to increase, decrease your retrieve rate. But that's something out there for discussion. I don't think there's much else to say about it. Yeah, basically all these reels, they're all made in the same factory. I think they call them OEM factories. And the different companies that sell them put their own specs on them. Well, other than this hasn't got a deep spool and it has a metal handle, it's pretty much the same, other than it says 8 kilos of drag. So who's the most accurate? I don't know. Is there more or less? Are some exaggerating? I couldn't tell you. 6+1 bearings. 8 kilos is around 16 pounds, probably a bit more. This is a 7-to-3-to-1 retrieve, so slightly faster than the Commando, but it depends how they measured these things, doesn't it? And we got EVA knobs instead of the wonderful knobs that are on that one, but you'll see that in the unboxing. So I'm going to start off with, it's matched up with the Mavalos Plume, which is the rod I use for most of these tests. C602 ultralight. I've got 0.2 Kingdom microfly line on, so very thin. Really, I possibly, because what you're going to be looking to use this for is probably bass fishing. It's just whether it'll do the trout end of things as well with very light lures. Maybe drum, steelhead salmon, that kind of thing. You've got a bigger spool than your Aldebarans, your Dark Wolf Ultras, so you've got a bit more room to play with, more line and thicker line. But I'm going to give it a go with this today because that's what I have. So we'll start off with a brake setting of 4.5, little or no side to side play, and God, that's smooth. It's over braked. This reel, I can hardly feel the gears. It is so smooth. Thanks to Glenn Calley in Australia, one of my moderators on BFS Finesse Fishing, the Facebook group, for pointing this one out to me. The black colour is beautiful with subdued purple undertones. He said it was smooth. It sure is, Glenn. The more I've used it, the smoother it feels. So we've got a 4 gram lure on there. It's the Cripple Jerk by fishingdiscoveries.com. Blimey, that is smooth. It feels a little over braked at the moment on just over 4. We'll the wind's switching all the time. Drop down lower. Have I got enough side to side play? Yeah, we'll stick with that for the minute. Yeah, it's going out there. Oh, let's tighten the drag up a bit. It wasn't a fish, we're into the bottom. Let's tighten the drag right up. So I'm not going to catch fish in here today. If I do, I'll be shocked. It's the wrong time of year. Couldn't get anywhere but here. Trying to get out of the wind. Right. Let's have a, God, that's so smooth. I hardly know I'm winding it. And when I'm casting it, it's the same. It's unnerving. It's so quiet. I mean, the old Commando I got down there is smooth, but I mean, this is butter. And out it goes. Oh, Glenn, you weren't wrong. I can loosen this up a bit more, I think. Look at that go. Yeah, I saw him just under 4. Yeah, I got the wind behind me. I will do count the amount of turns in it. Oh God, this is smooth. This is ridiculously smooth. Out it goes. Oh, this is the smoothest. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, I've got to do this again. I've lost count. Out it goes. Right, very controlled. So let's do tighten it. There we go. Let's wind it in. 1 2 3 4 5 6 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37. Not bad on a brake setting of 3.5. There you go. I'm not going to count anymore. That just gives you a rough idea, but wow, I cannot feel the gears on this. This is smoother than my outer bearing. It's accurate, it's controlled. Do I really want to keep going lower on the brakes? Oh, picking up some leaves and things. Let's turn the camera up. Wow, that's beautiful. Let's do some more with this. Let's do a cast out in the side wind. So we're on a brake setting. I'll show you. It's a nice big dial on it as well. On a brake setting about just under 3.5. Out it goes. Wind catches it and everything, but yeah, no, loving that. There we go. Just smack on. Lovely. I'm not going to keep dropping the brakes. I've proved to you the brakes are good enough. And I want to progress down through the lures. So what am I taking from this so far? I'm taking the Commando experience, which is smooth, but this is smooth as butter. So we're going with the I think it's about 3 gram Misurelure jerkbait. I'm going to take the brakes up to start off with. We'll start at about 4. See what this is like. Oh, lovely. Little over brake, but straight. Oh, so smooth. The only thing I've noticed is this slop in the knobs here. That's the only thing I can notice, is that if I put a little shim in there, I'm going to have no slop at all. It's rigid. The anti-reverse is solid. There's not a hell of a lot of play side to side play. There we go. That's great. Controlled. Enjoying using it. Take the brakes down. Let's go down to 3.5. Yes. Wow. Positive thumb bar. This could become one of my favourite reels. Yeah, just fantastic. We'll take it down just over 3. Yeah, just take that slop out of the handles and that's buttery smooth. Wow, great distance. Let's count that. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 36 37 38. It seems to be 37 38 whatever lure I'm using there at the minute, doesn't it? If you look at the line lay, hopefully that'll focus for you. It's perfect. Other than that, so far it's wonderful. Let's try the drag. So if we loosen the drag off, and we'll just do a pull. Yeah, not enough. That's tight. Get it right. Can I pull it from the air? Still very tight. So it's got a lot of drag there. Making some funny noises, but that's a rod. Yeah, that's a strange noise, isn't it? It's consistently pulling it, huh? It's adjustable. It's a bit of a whine it makes, isn't it? I don't know what that is. Probably it's smooth. It's smooth. Yeah. once it goes on, no doubt that will that'll work well. Clicking star drag, clicking end tension. You can look at the drop I got. It's a steady drop in it. I could have it looser than that. That's about where I'd set it. Let's take it off one. Yeah, taking one off now. Out it goes. Oh, blimey. Love it. Love it. Let's go down to a 1.5 gram lure and see what we can do with that. Now, if I had tick along, say I had 0.6 or 0.4, so you can buy some good sort of 12-pound braids that are 0.6. You could quite comfortably cast this, I'm sure, with that. You're probably not going exactly the same distance, but if you buy a good quality braid, smooth braid, you will do, I'm sure. Alright, so I'm putting on the, I think about 1.6 gram lure. See what we can do with that. Now, I'm not expecting big things. It's a big reel, so if it can throw this, we're laughing. I'm going to start off with 3.5 on the brakes and see where we go from there. I've gone left a bit. That could have been my timing, to be fair. We'll see. This is where left. I'm definitely over braking, so let's take the brakes down. Let's make sure we got a reasonable drop. Yeah, very slow drop, I think. Let's take the brakes down to just over 3. And that's better. That's doing it. That's landed about where I'd expect it to land. It's not doing, you know, what your Audis and Dark Wolves and even the Sembo are doing. Take it down further. Yeah, it's doing it. There you go. What can I say? I thought it would. It doesn't feel as accurate as a 50 size reel, because this is a 100 size reel. You know, I am having to get my casting spot on, but if I used it a lot, I would get good with it. Let's try a slightly longer drop. I'm cocking it up now. So it's not accurate, but it's throwing it. I'm turning my reel to the side. I've got a bird's nest. There you go. Got a beauty. Right, so we managed to get that out. It did actually go straight that time, I think. I got the brakes on the end tension a little too low. There we go, doing it now. I got my timing right and it's doing it. Very hard to do at the moment to show you any accuracy, because even with the wind behind me, it you have to release earlier, whereas you don't with your sort of your outer bearings and that. You can release near enough as how you would normally for a standard bait caster. That's miles away. Yeah, it's doing it. Yeah, that's quite good. Quite happy with that. Right, let's have a go with a heavier lure now. This is it's a standard sort of size crankbait that I call about sort of Berber colour. I'll put picture in picture with it. We'll see what that does. Turning the brakes up. Oh wow, so smooth. Oh, look, TA's in. So smooth, so smooth. That's a brake setting of 4. Let's take it down one. Try out in a crosswind. Yep, it's out there. My timing was rubbish, but it's out there. Oh, it's unbelievably smooth. So there's no one around. Yep. I cannot complain about that. In fact, I'm really rather impressed. I'm seriously impressed. I was seriously impressed with the Commando. But this thing, oh god, it's ultra smooth. No, me caps come off my microphone, so we're going to wrap it up there with this one now. Hopefully this is sheltered enough to for the wind not to affect too much. I've got my back to it as my little fluffy cover has come off the end, my foam cover. So what I think, on the bank, looks wonderful, performs well, does everything the Commando does, everything the GKA 200 does, if you take away the deep spools that you get with them, but you could buy one of them. But it's better reel. It is on another level, smoothness wise. You know, it's yeah, I'd probably get a different handle, get rid of these, get something like on the Commando, buy a spare spool from Soooooh, who this isn't made by. There's Misurelure, however you say it. Don't like the name, but there you go. But that's about the only thing I don't like about it, because everything else is silky smooth. The only sort of, if I didn't have this little bit of slot, which is not a lot, in the reel handles, I would hardly know I got the reel in my hands, casting and winding in. It's just shocking how smooth it is and gearless it feels. Glenn himself was very excited about the reel, and you know what, he ain't wrong. I don't know how they've done this, what they've done to make this different to that, because that is a smooth reel that they have. Is it the bearings? What is it? I don't know. Are the bearings completely packed with a special grease or something? I don't know. But I'm seriously impressed, and I prefer the darker reels myself than the sort of Acura and Commando colour. They're the silver. That paint tends to chip. But yeah, what a reel.